5. The Perfect Melodeon. Jacob Estey came to Brattleboro in 1835, at the age of 21, where he took over a small plumber's shop in a mill. In 1850, he built his own shop on the Main Street Bridge, where he ran various businesses. In 1852, he bought shares of a small melodeon manufactory, which was renting space in his building. In 1854-55, he founded a new melodeon manufactory in this building, founding Estey Green. Free reed organs, built in Brattleboro, before Estey Green. Estey Green began with manufacturing improved melodeons and rocking melodeons. The rocking melodeon was first developed in 1831, in Ponkapoag Canton, Massachusetts, by James Amorox Bazin. Arrived in Brattleboro around 1844, where it was built, from 1846 onward. The improved melodeon was developed in 1847, in Buffalo, New York. Developed by Jeremiah Carhart, Elias Parkham Needham, and George A. Prince. Was probably first built in Brattleboro in 1853. Both instruments were developed in the USA, but used two different bellows techniques. The rocking melodeon used the European bellows technique, which means air is forced out of the instrument via free reeds using bellows. Pressure wind bellows technique. While the improved melodeon used a different bellows technique. Developed by Jeremiah Carhart in 1846 in Buffalo, New York. At first, air is sucked out of the bellows. When a key is now pressed, the air flows back into the vacuum bellows. Suction wind bellows technique. The suction wind bellows technology has become established in the USA. Replaced the European pressure wind bellows, free reed organ copies, and imports. George A. Prince, in Buffalo, New York, and Carhart and Needham, in New York, were the leading manufacturers of the improved melodeon. George A. Prince even built a large factory in Buffalo, New York, to meet the high demand. At Estey Green, in Brattleboro, however, the sale and manufacturing of melodeons was still very modest at that time. 6 to 7, for a week, 50 to 75, in a year. The rocking melodeon could no more keep up with the technical advancement of the improved melodeon and disappeared from the market. Carhart, the developer of the suction wind bellows, sold bellows patents to several manufacturers. Since the 1855 newspaper advertisement refers to Carhart's improved melodeon, Estey Green were possibly also Carhart's patent holders to build the improved melodeon. Estey Green tried to catch up technically and developed their own improved melodeon in 1856, which they immediately called the Perfect Melodeon, without any modesty. Riley Burdett, who was the technical director at Estey Green, developed the bass damper, which he patented on July 8, 1856. The bass damper is a mechanism to dampen the lower octaves when the swell is open, while allowing the upper octaves to fully unfold. Bass damper, how it works. An improved melodeon has 2 foot pedals. 1 foot pedal operates the suction bellows. The other pedal operates the swell valve. When this valve is opened and a key is pressed, air flows into the instrument to the free reeds, which produce a tone. Riley Burdett has built an improvement for this valve. If the base damper is not activated, Figure 1, the damper opens and closes with the swell valve, which is operated with the foot pedal. If the base damper is activated, Figure 2, the base damper valve remains closed when the foot pedal valve opens. When the foot pedal swell is open, the base damper can be opened or closed, depending on the playing preference. The base damper can be activated with a stop mechanism, depending on the melodeon model. Estey Green mentioned that the improved melodeon, with Riley's development, was now perfect, and thus called their melodeon the Perfect Melodeon without an equal. Brattleboro was already connected to the U.S. rail network in 1856, and Estey Green began selling their Perfect Melodeon nationwide. Estey Green also offered to be held accountable for any transport damage. The Perfect Melodeon was also Estey Green's entry into the rising free reed organ business. Further improvements to the improved melodeon. Coming next. The Jacob Estey residence.